camera focus now on Queen's University, Belfast. And in opposition, the other half of the field, we have University College Dublin, the hosts. The Sigerson Cup competition started way back in 1911 when Dr. George Sigerson, then a professor of zoology in UCD, donated the trophy for inter-varsity Gaelic football competition, and also in an effort to try and stimulate interest in the national games at university colleges. Since then, the Sigerson Cup has been played in various venues throughout Ireland, with UCD the most successful of the universities. The Sigerson Cup itself is modelled on an ancient Irish drinking vessel called the Mether, at that time made of wood and passed from hand to hand, thus denoting friendship. And thus very suitable on this occasion, on an occasion such as the Sigerson weekend. Moreover, the four handles also represent the four provinces, probably more relevant today as teams in the competition this weekend have come from the four provinces to compete for this coveted trophy. Queens, over the years, they first competed in the competition in 1932 in Galway, and since then they have won. In February of 1959, when after a replay they defeated their opponents today, UCD, in a close final, 0-10 to 0-9 at Ballybay in County Monaghan. And Sean O'Neill, the present manager, was a member of that winning team. Their next success followed in 1964 in November at Casement Park, Belfast, when Queens again overwhelmed UCD Dublin, or UCD, by a 3-5 to 0-8 scoreline. And again, O'Neill at full forward in a roving role was in devastating form and was man of the match. Their next success followed in 1971 in Galway, and more recently they won their fourth title at Queen's University at the Malone Road playing fields in 1982. Now as time moves on, we are almost ready for kick-off time, and the referee and teams are there ready for the start. The referee is Paddy Collins from Westmeath, who refereed last year's All-Ireland Championship final. Now quickly the teams just before we start. First of all, the Queen's team. In goals we have John Mackle from Castledawson, Derry. The full back line is Jerry Rodgers, Ballymartin, County Down. Paul Maxwell, and the ball goes in, and the Sigerson final of 85 is on. Ball is played up towards Martin. Tully gets down to that one, picks it up, is tackled, and referee Collins blows him up for over carrying the ball. It's a free in for UCD, some 54 yards from goals. Spot kick taken by number 8, Mick O'Donoghue, plays it in, well fielded by Jerry Rodgers. He fielded it out only as far as Bill Sachs. He dummies inside, plays a hand pass through to number 11, Dermot Flanagan. Dermot takes his shot. The ball goes out towards the end line, the left-hand side. And the linesman signals that it will be a UCD sideline kick. This sideline kick to taken by number 13, Mick Lynham, a Westmeath County star. A long kick infield towards the goal, well fielded by John Mackle. Carries the ball out. Good long punt downfield. Again, only succeeds in finding Lynham. He takes his shot for point. The ball drops short inside the big square towards full forward Niall Clancy. Ball is broken down towards number 15, Francis McNamee. Mackle comes out, breaks it down. Mick Lynham gains a loose ball there, knocks one out over the bar for the first score after 1 minute 30 seconds of the Sigerson final. UCD go. So after some early pressure, UCD, the hosts, take a 1-point lead in this second minute. Here at Croke Park we have ideal conditions, sunny weather, ideal pitch, and certainly nothing to stop these two teams from playing good open football. Ball's played out towards team captain Paul Mahon, broken down over the sideline on the far side over towards the Cusack stand. A sideline kick to be taken by Paul Mahon. Plays the ball left-footed down the left wing. Brian Conlon was in there, but the ball is booted clear. Martin Tully spots the danger. Good long ball up towards the right corner forward. Eamon O'Hare breaks it down. And the ball is over the line. Liam Heaney there was dispossessed, but the linesman has awarded the sideline kick to Queens. Heaney takes a short free up towards Eamon O'Hare, but there's some dispute here. The sideline judge decides that the ball sideline kick should go to UCD. So the kick is taken by Peter Smith. Long ball up towards this sideline, misfielded there by Sean Ryan and slips out of his hands and should be a Queen's sideline kick. Stephen Muldoon takes it, plays it down towards his fellow midfielder Brian Mulholland, but his pass misdirected. Again it comes to Muldoon. Jinks in past two opponents. Number 2, John Joe Kearney comes out, fields it, pushes it up towards Bill Sachs. Long searching pass up towards the full forward line. Good flick inside for McLynham, but Paul Maxwell averts the danger there, and a very confident pass back to his goalkeeper John Mackle. Good long pass downfield. Fouled, and referee Paddy Collins agrees. So it's a free kick for UCD in the 5th minute of the Sigerson final, some 55 yards from goal. The ball is placed by midfielder Mick O'Donoghue. Long left-footed pass in towards full forward Niall Clancy. He tries to round his marker Paul Maxwell, succeeds in doing so and takes a left-foot shot, and it's over the bar. It's over the bar. Full forward Niall Clancy. The second point of the game after almost 5 minutes play, after rounding his marker Paul Maxwell. So UCD, and as the cheers come up here just below me, obviously UCD supporters outnumber the Queen's contingent. So University College Dublin 2 points ahead in the early stages of this university's competition final. Seems to be some delay as centre half Ciaran Hamill reties his bootlace. Long clearance out towards midfield. Bill Sachs is up, punches it down. Ball comes out to Sean Ryan, plays it down towards corner forward McLynham. McLynham plays it again up towards Niall Clancy. He vies for possession along with Paul Maxwell. Referee again adjudges that the Queen's full-back fouled his man, and it will be a free in. A very acute angle out in the right wing, some 21 yards from goals. So UCD, having applied all the early pressure, gaining a 2 points lead, now have a chance to stretch that advantage. And it's a good free kick all the way over the bar, from, we will get the number in a second. Number 14, Niall Clancy, scored that free. So UCD 3 points clear after 7 minutes of this final. John Mackle again with the kick out, trying to get Queens back in motion. Again, midfield possession is lost, and Dermot Flanagan comes back, gains possession, plays the ball wide. Well taken by Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan tries to outpace his marker Sean McCartney, seems to have the pace, comes inside, seems to be fouled, but Paul Maxwell, referee allows the play to continue. Sean McCormack's kick is blocked down. Number 8, Brian Conlon, back, helping out his defence, takes possession, plays it up towards Greg Blaney. He only succeeds in finding Bill Sachs, who solos through, but referee Collins adjudges that the UCD captain overcarried the ball and is awarded a free kick almost 50 yards from goals for Queen's University Belfast. In the meantime, there's a man gone down injured, one of the UCD players. Maybe we can take this opportunity of giving you the Queen's line out. So we had it in goals, John Mackle, the full-back line, Jerry Rodgers, Paul Maxwell and Martin Tully. Half-back line, Sean McCormack, Ciaran, Hamill and Paul Mahon. At midfield we have Stephen Muldoon and Brian Conlon. Three-quarter line reads from right to left, Liam Heaney, Greg Blaney, PJ McCormack. And the full forward line for Queens is Eamon O'Hare, Donal Armstrong and Conn Mulholland. UCD have Senan Maguire in goals. Their full back line reads John Joe McKearney at right full back. Sean McGovern at full back. Seamus O'Neill left full back. Half back line Peter Smith, Noel McCaffery and Andy Healy. Full back or midfield partnership is Mick O'Donoghue and team captain Bill Sachs. Half forward line Sean Ryan, Dermot Flanagan and Jimmy Lyons. And full forward line Mick Lynham, Niall Clancy and Frank McNamee. Meantime back to the play and Brian Conlon takes possession of the left footed shot down towards Greg Blaney, but he is outstripped there by Noel McCaffery, who boots the ball upfield only towards Sean McCormack. Good pass downfield towards Stephen Muldoon. He turns, tries to find his corner forward, but only succeeds in knocking the ball out over this end line. So into the 10th minute of the Sigerson Cup final, University College Dublin with a fairly commanding 3 points advantage. Sideline kick taken by left corner back Seamus O'Neill, plays it infield. Greg Blaney, former All-Star game possession, tried to push through to full forward Donal Armstrong, but UCD defence seemed to be that little bit sharper to the ball in these early stages. Mick Lynham, corner forward, back in possession there, ball off the ground. Queens try a quick free, but not from the proper spot, so the kick will be retaken this time by midfielder Stephen Muldoon. He signals they're going to kick the ball towards the left, and that's what he does, towards Conn Mulholland. 5'5", Cookstown corner forward is fouled by John Joe McKearney, and it should be a free in for Queens. Midfielder Stephen Muldoon rather, from the Sarsfield Club in Belfast, goes forward, places the ball carefully, almost 21 yards from goals, out towards the Cusick stand. Fairly acute angle, but certainly Queens need a score at this stage to get them right back into contention. Ball comes in towards goals, and goalkeeper Senan Maguire safely gathers and plays it outfield. Ball's gathered by Liam Heaney. Now he's fouled by Jimmy Lyons, so it will be another free kick, this time a little more central, almost straight in front of goals, some 40 yards from goals. And again, midfielder Stephen Muldoon will take the place kick. Steadies himself, takes his kick, but sends it wide, That certainly was a good chance to open the Queen's account, but midfielder Muldoon puts that good chance just wide of the left-hand upright. So the score remains UCD not 3, Queen's University no score after 11.5 minutes. Kick out taken by Senan Maguire. Long kick, goes almost 55 yards out, well fielded. Stephen Muldoon plays it back to his fellow midfielder Brian Conlon, a Queen's fresher this year, over the far line, and the sideline judge gives the sideline kick to UCD. The sideline kick to be taken by John Joe McKearney. Plays it up the far touchline. Was fielded by corner forward Mick Lynham, but he seems to have carried the ball out over the touchline, so Queens will now have possession. And Muldoon's sideline kick finds Greg Blaney wandering out towards the left wing, plays a ball infield towards Hedgie O'Hare. He doesn't gain possession, and now UCD push forward in numbers. Cleared upfield by Seamus O'Neill, and it's well again gathered up by Niall Clancy, but just at the last second he loses possession, and Paul Maxwell takes the ball, clears it downfield. A late tackle there by Donal Armstrong. Too kindly welcomed by the UCD supporters just down below me. Referee Collins has a quiet word with the offender, but does not book him. So midfielder Mick O'Donoghue with this free kick for UCD. Left-footed kick, doesn't get it very high, but it does find Dermot Flanagan. Flanagan comes inside and solos through. Plays it towards Bill Sachs. Bill Sachs takes his shot from 35 yards and sends it wide. Sends it wide, a golden opportunity there. Ball seemed to be going over, but just at the last second drifted wide of the left-hand upright. So the scoreline still remains, after almost 14 minutes of play, UCD 3 points, Queen's University Belfast still to open their account. John Mackle with a kick out. Jimmy Lyons, and he plays it through to Mick O'Donoghue. He's in the clear, takes his shot, and it's over the bar. A left-footed shot goes all the way over the bar to stretch the UCD advantage to a fairly commanding 4 points. Now certainly at this stage in the game, Queens are losing out in the centre of the park, where the UCD midfielders O'Donoghue and Sachs are certainly ruling the roost. So whether team manager O'Neill decides to make changes, but certainly at this stage the Queens pair are playing second fiddle. This time the ball comes down towards Donal Armstrong. He picks out midfielder Muldoon in the clear. He fly kicks it through to number 15 Mulholland. Is blocked. The shot's blocked down by Noel McCaffery. Comes to Liam Heaney. Now the ball seemed to be bouncing there, but referee Collins was certainly on the spot, and he adjudges that Liam Heaney picked that ball off the ground, so it will be a free out for the Dublin side. Senan Maguire takes the free kick, plays it out towards the right half-back position, where it's gathered by team captain Paul Mahon, but he was forced over the sideline in possession of the ball, so it will be a sideline kick to UCD. And as you can hear, the cries ring round a fairly empty Croke Park, but there are some UCD supporters here crying out 4-0, 4-0. So hopefully Queens can change the scoreline fairly quickly. Certainly they are in need of an early boost at this stage. 4 points adrift after just over 16 minutes play. Sideline kick taken by Peter Smith. Plays the ball up towards the centre of the quarters area. Field foot and goes wide. So the kick out again from John Mackle. This time it's a long one. A good 70 yards downfield. It's fielded by Muldoon, but he loses possession to Mick O'Donoghue. Ball comes downfield again, and UCD certainly playing the more attractive football at this stage. Seem to be far, far more composed in their play than Queens. Ball is picked up. Ciaran Hamill, his shot is blocked down. Conn Mulholland, roving corner forward, takes possession, plays it downfield towards Eamon O'Hare, but his pass is much too strong, and full forward PJ McCormack even fails to reach that one. So Queens certainly at this stage have wasted any possession that they've had in the opposition half, and without doubt UCD have been the superior team in the first quarter of this match, especially in the midfield area, where the two ranging midfielders have used any possession they got. They used it very intelligently. Jerry Rodgers pumps that one in towards full forward. Conn Mulholland tries to get possession, but it's fly kicked away by Peter Smith. And the ball goes over the bar. So that kick from right half back Peter Smith, shot off his boot and went over the bar for what we might call an own point. So at last, after 18.5 minutes of play, Queens open their account with a point, be it an own point, but still it reduces the arrears to 3 points. UCD leading not 4 to Queens not 1. Some of the more stylish and constructive football of which we know they're very capable, and certainly which they displayed in their semi-final tie yesterday, disposing of the challenge of UCD with 13 men for 20 minutes of the second half. At crossfield, pass by Liam Heaney is cut out, and UCD now counter-attack. In possession, Jimmy Lyons comes inside. Ciaran Hamill plays it up towards corner forward Frank McNamee. He takes possession but loses it to Greg Blaney, who's back helping out his defence. Blaney in possession, jinks past one UCD defender, plays a long ball downfield toward Conn Mulholland. Conn Mulholland pushes it inside to Heaney. Heaney takes his shot and it's over the bar. It's over the bar from Liam Heaney. A good inter-passing move there from Queens. Greg Blaney knocked the ball down to Conn Mulholland and he placed Liam Heaney coming inside from his left half forward position, and he knocked a good point over the bar from about 30 yards. So after almost 20 minutes, Queens at last seem to have settled to their game and reduced the deficit to 2 points. UCD still leading not 4 to Queens not 2. Now we have a sub in the game. Number 21 has come on for UCD. Unfortunately at this stage I don't have number 21's name. He seems to have gone out into the right corner forward position, probably replacing Frank McNamee. Anyhow, play resumes. Meantime, down at the canal end, Senan Maguire takes the kick out. Ball is fielded by Jimmy Lyons. He places Dermot Flanagan. Dermot Flanagan hand toes the ball upfield, being chased by Ciaran Hamill, trying to close him down. Greg Blaney comes across, knocks him off the ball, and Collins, the referee, decides that was an infringement and gives a free kick 50 yards from goals for UCD. So another chance here for the Dublin side to stretch their advantage. This free kick to be taken by number 13, McLynham. He steadies, takes his kicks, a good one in towards the goal. Number 15, Frank, too early, just before the ball. Referee Paddy Collins spotted that infringement and awards a free out for Queens. So the Castle Dawson goalkeeper John Mackle plays the ball and kicks it out, but it's well fielded, unchallenged. Bill Sachs gathered that one unchallenged in the middle of the field, pushes it through to Dermot Flanagan. He is fouled by Glenavia's Ciaran Hamill, and there will be a free in for UCD. About 35 yards from goals, straight in front of the posts. Curl it in, but doesn't curl enough, and the ball slips past the right hand upright, and another good scoring chance has gone a begging. So we have now played over 22 minutes of this Sigerson Cup final here at Croke Park. Titian are leading Queen's University Belfast by 2 points. Scoreline reading not 4 to not 2 in the Dublin side's favour. Kick out again is fielded by Bill Sachs. He pushes it out wide towards centre half. Noel McCaffery, good ball through towards his corner forward, but Sean McCormack nips in, pushes that one out to captain Paul Mahon. Solos down the left hand. He flicks it on to Brian Conlon, but Conlon was forced while in possession over the sideline, and there seems to be about a fisticuffs along the far touchline. Some of the team mentors, including Sean O'Neill, are out there to try and break it up, and hopefully we won't have a repeat of yesterday's episodes where Queens lost two of their more prominent members, Stephen Mulvenna and Phelim Lenihan. Now Conn Mulholland, I think, seems to be the injured party. Certainly one of the Queen's players has been grounded and is being attended by the team doctor and ex-Queen's player himself, Dr. Kevin McFerrin. Actually, I think the injured player was Eamon O'Hare, the other corner forward, very similar in stature. He seems to have recovered, and certainly he will play on. Free kick is pushed downfield. Stephen Muldoon takes possession, pushes it up towards Mulholland. Mulholland, speedy corner forward, pushes it downfield towards Eamon O'Hare. Takes possession, good fast fist pass inside towards PJ McCormack. PJ is grounded by the fullback Sean McGovern. That should be a free in for Queens. About single out on the right hand side of the post. Midfielder Muldoon will take this shot at goals. Certainly a difficult kick for a right footed player. Sean swings it across the face of the goal. Fielded by Brian Conlon. He pushes it back. Again it's gathered by Muldoon. Kicks the ball on the ground, but it's safely gathered by goalkeeper Senan Maguire. He's blocked down by Conlon. Again Maguire's blocked. Forced wide. Pushes the ball out towards Seamus O'Neill. Shoulder charged by corner forward Eamon O'Hare. And the umpire signals that the ball had gone over the end line for a goal kick for UCD. So with 5 minutes remaining to the interval, UCD still 2 points clear, not 4 to not 2. And after a bright start in which UCD certainly were well on top, Queens have settled, playing a little more steadily, and maybe after the break and words of encouragement from team manager Sean Neal, they will improve. But there again, they're in possession. Greg Blaney plays the ball through towards Liam Heaney and Conn Mulholland, but a UCD defender gets his foot to the ball, pushes it out wide towards the far touchline. UCD